We can move on then.
We can agree to disagree. I'm happy we're such different opinions on the wipes versus not wipes.
Yeah.
But Pete doesn't shit when he goes out in public anyway. This fucking asshole. Oh, me? No, I've never used a saw before in my life. I don't do that. Meanwhile, I'm shitting in 7-Elevens every other morning. Like, next time I'm going to be like, oh, well, Pete wouldn't do this, so I guess I'm not shitting.
What would Pete Picasso do before working?
Hey guys, welcome to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. My name is Nicks Agnelli, and I'm here with my co-host Peter Price, and we are here to talk about life in our mid-20s, jobs, work, social life, family life, and relationships, and everything in between. We're here to have some good laughs and fun, and just talk about what it's like to be in our mid-20s and the trials and the tribulations that come along with that. Pete, I'm so excited. This is awesome. We're doing this, and I've been so excited for a long time for it.
Yeah, man, I'm wicked stoked also.
Yeah. It's been something that we've been talking about doing for almost 2 years, and we finally jumped on doing it. And it's been really cool to see this whole process come to fruition. And it's just really, really cool. So with that being said, I kind of want to get into the first kind of like segment and what we're doing. And it's kind of the thought of the week. And with every boys only episode we do, we're going to do a thought of the week where I open the episode with a thought, and then the next Boys Only episode, Pete will open with a thought. And it's just something that clicked in my head this week that I thought that it would be really cool to talk about. So for me, that was it was this thought of everywhere I go, everything I do at this age, I feel like sometimes I'm stuck in this rut where I'm never sober in what I'm doing. And it might sound like trippy or weird to hear that, but this is what I mean when it comes down to that is like, if I'm going to the gym, I'm on pre-workout. If I am going out socially, I have to drink. If I'm chilling at home on a Sunday, I have to smoke. If you're have a hard deadline at work or you're trying to study for a test, you have to be on Adderall. I can't go to work without being on 2 cups of coffee. So it's like, it was this thought that came to me where, do you ever feel trapped in anything that you do? When you really get down to it, you're never sober. You have some type of stimulant or depressant or something going through your body.
Right. Yeah, no, I think it's important to elaborate on what you were saying too. It's like by sober, you don't necessarily mean like you're an alcoholic struggling with that.
Yeah.
But it's like even that common saying you hear in America, like "Don't talk to me before I've had my coffee."
That's
you know,
it, yeah.
like everyone need your handicap to go enjoy whatever activity is next instead of just doing it for the activity.
And to me, exactly what you're saying. And to me, it's why? Like right. What really intrigued me is like what comes down to the root of that. Why do you feel like you have to go out and you have to be drinking to be social? Why is there like almost anxiety that comes along with that? Is it because A, you get pressured, or B, you genuinely want to get fucked up, I guess, to forget about your problems, or C, you don't feel like truly comfortable in yourself, either socially or physically, or like you kind of want your anxieties of being out to kind of go away. So if I'm really self-conscious in a shirt and I get drunk, then I'm not really self-conscious anymore. Fuck it. Or, you know, if I have social anxiety and I go out and I don't like talking to random people, but if I drink, I'll talk to whoever the fuck I want to.
Right.
Or being on the adverse, being able to not be able to slow down your mind. So if you have a problem where like you literally can't chill and just do nothing unless you're stoned, and you can't really ever go to bed at night, or you can't ever have an appetite without smoking, or you can't, study without taking Adderall. It's just, and my thing was like, why? And so I would love to get your thoughts on it. Like, why do you think it is that people have such a hard time being their complete self? And like, what does that derive from?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great point that you're making, because I think it's a super relatable topic that a lot of people, almost every person I imagine, can relate to in one way or another. You know, whatever your vice is, I think, everyone can sort of relate to this topic. And I think, a lot of what I can attribute to, even in my own life, is just like the society that we live in, especially, honestly, in South Florida where we are. It's a very like party-oriented society we live in. I don't know if it's the same everywhere. I find it hard to believe that like in Montana or somewhere in the middle of the country, like, they can go downtown every night and there's some bar or club that's popping any night of the week. But, where we live, that's the case. And Personally, I have friends that go out almost every day of the week, or maybe not the same friend that goes out all 7 days, but I have friends that any night of the week I could hit up and go out if I wanted to,
And why do you think that is? Why do you think they go out that much? Is it to meet girls or to forget about their shitty job? Or why? I mean,
yes, all of the above.
All the above,
I think everyone's got their own reason that they make their own choices for. It's the shitty job and just wanting to go blow off some steam afterwards, which I think is, totally normal. And whatever those reasons are, I don't even think it's necessarily wrong to have, something in your life that you enjoy. If smoking weed makes you feel better when you're hanging out at home, that's one thing. You know me well enough that I can attest to that. Man, I'm like a very casual stoner. But
very casual.
It's being able to identify when you're taking it too far, and when it's becoming a release or when it's becoming a problem.
And when does it become a problem? When you can't without it?
I think there's a couple of factors to that. Like when you feel like you don't have control over it, it's worth addressing, I think, because being in control of your own life, I think, is pretty important. Yeah. And also, if it's affecting the people around you and the relationships around you, then it's probably also worth questioning if it's good for you also, And there's two parts to that also, I think. Like, if not going out and drinking with your friends every night is affecting your relationship with your friends because you don't see them as much, but staying home and not drinking is good for your bank account and good for your body, then maybe those aren't the friends you need to be making, Maybe find some friends with some better habits and, that enjoy doing different things at night. And that could also be a big part of it too, identifying the relationships in your life and what's leading you to doing those things. If your job is too stressful and that's why you're getting fucked up every night, do you need to have that job? Maybe identifying what your next career step is so that you're not looking to, end that workday as soon as possible and get fucked up, So I think, everyone's got their own situation, but it's definitely a relatable topic.
It is. And where this really came from, because this isn't like a judgy question at all, is because I feel like I have this problem sometimes. I feel like sometimes I get in this rut where like I have to use these enhancers with everything I do. Like every activity
Pre-workout, before a workout.
Every activity I do, I need this like this stepping stone to get there mentally,
right,
where I just can't like show up and be my fullest, soberest, true self. Like why is that an issue? And so it's a debate I was having with myself. And like the other part of it's like, why the fuck not? Life's too short. Why not show up to that party fucked up? Why not be stoned on a Sunday, just chill? Why not take Adderall if you got to study for 7 hours? It's going to fucking help.
Right.
I get that. I totally do. So it's just a really cool conversation I was having with myself because I'm like, am I tripping for thinking that like I'm an absolute lunatic for needing all these things? Then I'm like, wait, I know a lot of people that use I guess you could say enhancers with everything they do.
I think need is the key word right there. Do you need it? Would you not be able to function without it? Then maybe you should, identify that and work on it,
exactly.
But if it's not, if smoking weed on Sunday on your day off isn't hurting anyone, then
why the fuck not?
Then maybe it is okay to relax and enjoy your day. If that recharges you for Monday and now you can kill that day, then it's all good, But I think just identifying what it's affecting in your life, positively or negatively, is important.
I think it's cool. And for you guys, like, think about it, like, at home. I thought it was a really cool thing that popped up in my head because I was literally arguing with myself and my subconscious about, like, which direction's kind of the right way to go and in our age. And also on the last note of it, it's like, isn't the whole question of our life's balance? It's like, work hard, play hard, bust your ass so you can make money and go on those fucking great vacations and go out socially, but also care about your health and not being drunk every weekend and not having a fucking heartburn at 26 years old and shit like that. So it's just this ultimate push-pull, and it's something that I have a really hard problem with, is finding that balance and finding that middle ground where I'm like, hey, I feel great, I feel fit, I feel healthy. I went out last Saturday and had a great birthday party with my friend, whatever it is, and not be self-conscious about going out and having fun, but also knowing that, hey, I'm going to wake up Monday morning, go to the gym and get my shit done.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was just something to think about. I thought that was a really cool topic to kind of open up with. And like I said, every boys only episode, we're going to open up with kind of just this thought of the week that pops up, and we're going to run with it. So for our first episode, we were kind of thinking about how to break it down and dissect, like, in which avenues we're going to go down. We wanted to kind of give you an insight of both Pete and I, but without sitting here with a a 3-hour dialogue of everything that's happened in our lives, you know, without boring
Because
you
we
guys.
did that the first time.
Yeah, we did that the first time.
Honest, I went on a rant.
And we sat, you know, we found out looking back, like, holy shit, you know, this has really gone on for a while. And so the way we broke it down this time around is, you know, both Pete and I are going to kind of speak on 3 things that really make us who we are today. And then over the course of this podcast, you guys will definitely get a deeper gist into who we are in our past with our family and our friends and where we come from. It will all come out within our conversations.
Yeah, totally. There were definitely some great stories in that first attempt, but I think, you know, it's best saved for another time.
Best saved for another time, exactly. We don't have, you know, we didn't want to come out with a 3-hour long episode, so we wanted to kind of give you guys tidbits and really just like a quick bite into our life, and then move on with that into our next topics and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So with that, the first question, you know, I thought I had it in breaking us down is, you know, for Pete, it's like, what was the biggest life-changing thing in your life? What really was like a huge turning point in your life? And where's that big pivot for you growing up?
Okay. Great question. And I think there's definitely a few times in my life that I can identify being a little bit like of a breakthrough moment or a turning point, but without a doubt, the biggest turning point in my life was getting in legal trouble, and actually doing some jail time and going through that whole system, and definitely, you know, doing a complete 180 after that from coming from a very criminal lifestyle.
How long was that?
So around like my sophomore, junior year in high school, is when I decided to start smoking weed, and basically immediately, honestly, before I started smoking weed, I wanted to sell weed. Like, that business model always intrigued me. Everyone around me was smoking weed. All my friends were. I've always been a little hustler, entrepreneur, wanting to, you know, make money. So I immediately identified the business model there, you know. But one of my boys in high school immediately shut that down. I was like, bro, you don't smoke weed. You can't sell weed if you don't smoke it. You're not even going to know if what you got's good or not. So that made sense to me, you know. And then finally I decided to start smoking weed, and when I did, immediately wanted to start selling it also. So I kind of went down that path, started, you know, at the very bottom of that, and throughout high school, you know, kind of gradually moved up through the ranks in that hustle, and, you know, started moving a lot more weight and taking a lot more risks, doing a lot of dumb shit. Then when it came time to leave for college, I was stoked not to go to school, but to be in Tallahassee. I'm like, man, my business is about to be booming. I'm going to double down. Everyone in Tally is going to be, you know, needing trees. And now I'm living on my own, no parents. It's going to be easy to trap. And yeah, man, that was the mentality going to Tallahassee. Like, that was the reason I was there, honestly. Not doing well in school at all. I was in school, but not doing well. Not really giving a fuck. Making really good money, you know, always was making good money for myself, had whatever I wanted, never had to ask my parents for anything. But there was also no end game there, you know. I felt like I was good at what I was doing, and I liked what I was doing. Everyone liked having me around, and I sort of knew in the back of my head nothing was going to make me stop doing that other than getting caught, you know.
Isn't that always the end game for a drug dealer, though?
Right. I mean, I knew that was it, you know. Nothing else was going to make me just walk away from that money, you know. Almost like what we were talking about earlier with bartending. Like, the money's so good that it's hard to get out of that trap because...
the cash is heroin. It's hard to get off.
How do you walk away from that, you know? So around this time I'm in Tallahassee. I've been up there for maybe 6 months, 8 months. Trap's doing well. And... I get hit up by one buddy who had just gotten in trouble for selling LSD and Molly out of his dorm. I didn't know that he had gotten in trouble for it, but he had just gotten busted selling all this stuff out of his dorm room, and just started flipping on anyone he could to get himself out of trouble. And I was one of those people that he flipped on.
Fucking rat.
Yep. And so FSU PD starts hitting me up off his phone, just texting me from his phone, and hits me up for a quarter pound. I go to meet him.
Quarter pound of what?
Weed.
Okay.
Quarter pound of weed, 4 ounces, which is a little over 4 times the threshold that makes it a felony.
Okay.
So yeah, it was well within the range of being a felony.
What? Just to kind of skip. What was the big holy fuck moment? Like, what was the big, like, was it the cuffs? Was it the jumps? Like, what was like the, oh my gosh.
I mean, it was as soon as I realized what was going on. So, I mean, should I get into the story of when I got arrested?
We don't have to get... Yeah, absolutely. Actually,
all right, I'll keep it brief.
That, yeah.
So at this time, I drive a motorcycle, right? You remember when I had the bike? Yep. So I'm on my way.
Pete on the bike, man.
Oh fuck! I'm on my way to work at Champs. I worked at Champs in the mall, and always had a regular job while I was trapping because I wanted to like have an excuse for making money, and I always wanted to have as much money as possible. So you might as well get that check. And so I'm on my way to Champs that morning. I'm in my uniform and everything on the bike. I'm just going to bust this kid down on my way there. And
check out the terms. Bust this kid down.
I was going to bust a buddy on my way to
Can I get a white version of bust this kid down real quick, Pete?
I was going to go serve this kid his quarter pound.
Serve. Okay, so that's deliver, I think. I'm pretty sure Pete is delivering drugs. Okay, keep going.
That was the plan that morning. I had a weird feeling, to be honest. Something didn't feel right, but it was also a good amount of money we're talking about. I think I was going to pick up $1,200 or something, so it was going to take a lot to talk me out of that. Yeah. And so he lived in the Pike House in Tallahassee, and that neighborhood is set up like a big cul-de-sac, and the Pike House is in the middle of the cul-de-sac. So when you pull in the neighborhood, it's just a big loop that goes around, one way in, one way out. And so I pull in on my bike, I look to the right, and there's the whole parking lot is empty there, but there's one Chevy Silverado pickup truck, blacked out windows.
I've seen way too many movies, dude. I know exactly what's
looks pretty sketchy. So I'm rolling by on my bike, and sure enough, there's like 4 dudes I can see ducked down behind the dashboard with vests on. I'm like, fuck. So this is like where I should have just parked and met the kid. Yeah. Instead, I'm like, fuck no. So I keep driving around the circle. I'm looking behind me, but no one's following me. At this point, I should have just thrown the backpack in the fucking woods or something. But like I said, it's a quarter pound was a lot of work and like a lot of money at that time. I wasn't really anxious to just throw it away, you know? So, or I wasn't eager to throw it away. And I'm looking behind me, no one's following me. So I'm also thinking, maybe I didn't see what I thought I saw. Maybe they're not here for me. Maybe I'm tripping. I'm just going to leave. Fuck this. I'm just going to go. So now I'm going around that big cul-de-sac, coming towards the exit. And at this point, I see that truck driving towards me now. Like, they didn't follow me. They went the other way around the circle to cut me off.
Yeah, that's a big old fuck.
So to answer your question, that was probably the exact moment where I was like,
this is real.
This is exactly what I thought it was. I'm fucked. And sure enough, they pulled the truck sideways, block the road. 4 dudes jump out with rifles. Get on the fucking ground.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, hands up. I've got headphones in, blaring my music in my helmet. I'm yelling, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Imagine bumping DaBaby and getting pulled over.
DaBaby was not a thing yet, dude.
By
this is
4 cops with rifles out. Oh my god!
It was definitely Rich Homie Quan. I could tell you that.
I would piss myself. I would legitimately just start peeing and just be like, "Feel bad for me. I'm pissing."
I look behind me. I wasn't gonna go anywhere, but I looked behind me. There was like 3 other undercover cars that were behind me, all pulled in. More guys jump out, guns out, get on the fucking ground. My hands are just up. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. They slam me on the ground. Take my helmet off and then realize, oh shit, he had headphones in that he couldn't hear us. They thought I was just being a dick.
I got pulled over one time for a fucking seatbelt, and I swear to God, my heart rate was at like 160, and I had cold sweats. So I couldn't fucking imagine the type of stress that was. And then you went right to the holding
cuffed
cell.
Up, went to jail, bonded out that day, and shout out to Keith Walker and Nick Velasquez and Taylor Ross, because those are my dogs up in Tally. I had already bailed myself out at that point, but they showed up with the money to try and bail me out, and then we're told I was already bailed out.
Great friends.
Salute to those guys, man. You're the realest. But yeah, so that was definitely the oh fuck moment, you know? Yeah. And at that point, you know, it changed a lot of things in my life. I definitely wasn't gonna, you know, fuck up again, you know? And at that point, after I bailed out, it was like a 6-month process that I was going through court before I actually got sentenced. I ended up doing 30 days in jail in Leon County.
Is it like the orange jumpsuit? Was it a striped jumpsuit? What was it?
It wasn't a jumpsuit. It was a 2-piece, and we wore navy. It was like a navy, yeah.
And was it like, don't drop the, sorry if I'm getting intense, but I'm
no,
not.
No, ask away, bro.
Was it like, don't drop the soap vibes? What was that like?
So it wasn't like a big open shower area. They're like stalls, almost like a bathroom stall. It's in the open pod, you know, like where there's a dude watching TV and playing cards right outside the stall door that you're showering.
Shit.
But there's a stall door and shit. It's one person in there.
You get flip-flops to wear in the shower or no?
Shower shoes, yeah. Okay, it's the same shower shoes you walk around in all day, every day, though.
So it's like Crocs, but jail version.
They're open though. It's like they're like slides, but terrible.
Okay.
Those were orange.
that is insane, Pete.
Yeah.
But
So it changed my life a lot after that.
Yeah.
Came home immediately. Like at that point, I couldn't afford to live in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
I wasn't making much money working at Champs. So I moved back home, got my job back at Bradley's, started, bar backing, eventually became a bartender. And that's what led to, the next career path that I went down. But that career path is what made me exactly who I am today. So had all that not happened, I, without a doubt, would have just rode out the next 4 years in Tallahassee, barely making it through school, wasting money, partying, selling weed, until then 4 years were up and I had to figure out what the fuck to do with myself.
You ever think, because I do like so much, if there was like one different ripple in this long ass wave we call life, not to get like too deep and spiritual and intense real quick.
I love that shit.
But like how much different if like that kid didn't get caught who ratted you out, and how different would this wave be? Like, and like in your life, there's these people you meet or this experience you have that you go on and it just changes everything, and it's just crazy to me. Like that little bit of the algorithm that's fucking off that day.
Algorithm.
It's crazy.
No, 100%, bro.
Okay, so
everything happens for a reason.
That's right. The second part of it, for Pete, and really kind of getting to know who he was I thought like let's get deep for a hot minute. Like that wasn't deep enough, and and talk about like what's your biggest insecurity? Like what is something that you struggle with or fight on a daily basis, whether it's anxiety, depression, or whatever it is. We all have these things that we really struggle with in life. And in part with this whole podcast, I want us to be, vulnerable and human and say like nothing is ever perfect. Like what you see on social media and what you see, everyone puts these highlight reels out into the world, and that even though someone could look like they're doing great, they really struggle with these demons inside, and that we're not also unalike in having these struggles. So I wanted to kind of put this question out there for both of us, in the fact that like, hey, we all fucking got problems, man, and how we deal with them is the biggest thing. So for Pete, what is that biggest hurdle and insecurity you have?
That's a tough one. I and I mean not tough because I don't have insecurities, I guess, or hurdles, because we all definitely do. But I mean, at this point in my life, also, I'm super stoked with where I am in life and everything I've got going on. So I don't know. I mean, I've got a very not that I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you don't like me, I don't give a fuck, Like, I like what I've got going on.
Yeah.
So, not to make this too not serious of an answer to your serious question, but where my brain goes right away, and the most genuine answer I could give you right now, you know how some people just don't give a fuck about dancing? Like, you see them at a wedding or something, and they're on the dance floor fucking that shit up. I wish I could. I envy that guy. I want to be the guy that doesn't care. And I just told you I don't care what people think. But when it comes to a dance floor, I freeze up a little bit, So
Sexy Pete's answer.
I'm a little scared to dance, And JoJo would tell you different, because she's definitely seen me bust a move in the bathroom or something.
Are you a good dancer? And be completely honest with me.
I don't think so. I mean, you just saw a little sneak
that
peek
was
in
not
there.
a lot of drive. Yeah.
But that's my real answer right there. If I had to think about one thing I'm insecure about, I wish I was confident enough to just look silly and dance. And I'm not even saying I want to be a good dancer. I wish I was someone that didn't give a fuck about how silly I looked and would just go have fun and dance. And so catch me at the next wedding, Heath Walker. Catch me on the dance floor, all right? I'm saying it right now.
Pete, man, for that to be your go-to is it kind of shows you where your heart's at and where your head's at. How life's going, A, pretty well right now, but B, fucking dancing on a dance floor is such a vibe, And that, like, who doesn't like the guy at a wedding just fucking up the dance floor,
right? I know. I want to be that guy.
I say that because I'm usually that guy.
I know you are, dude. I knew you'd be able to relate.
There isn't nothing much like fucking going hard on the dance floor and people like jiving with you. It's like the most natural human expression just to fucking dance your ass off. So is there nothing harder than fucking that guy dancing on a dance floor at a wedding? No, I think that's the coolest guy there.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not talking about myself. No, that was not a monologue about me, I swear. Okay? Don't you fucking judge
that
me.
guy's definitely the coolest guy there, I can tell you for a fact.
Yeah, he's sweating way too much. I sweat through almost every shirt at a wedding.
That's how you know you did it right.
It's like Zumba for 4 hours and I'm just going at like when Country Roads comes on and I'm just like in the background stumbling like 7 too many beers.
I love it.
All right, so the last part, Pete, I wanted to kind of jump on is to kind of give like a little snapshot of where you are, and then like what is your why or your goals in the next 5 and 10 years, and where like what's kind of your mission in life and where you're heading.
Yeah, cool, absolutely. So to give you a very brief background, my life's changed a lot just in the last year. For the last 7 or 8 years, I've been in the hospitality world, running bars, restaurants, and nightclubs. Around Palm Beach Island and West Palm Beach. Had an amazing time for the last 7 or 8 years doing that. Learned a ton. Wouldn't, be the businessman that I am today or have many of the skills that I have today if it weren't for that. But COVID happened, changed that industry in a huge way. And for about 6 months, flipped that industry upside down. It was barely even existent, other than takeout food,
Mm-hmm.
So it really made me start rethinking things, and that's kind of what landed me on the career path that I'm at now. I've been an artist my whole life. I've always liked to draw and paint as a kid. Went to art school when I was younger. And obviously I've always been very into tattoos. Recently, when getting my hands and knuckles done, was speaking with my tattoo artist. And I was like, hey, man, if I wanted to get into this, where would I start? How would it happen?
Is that like the bungee jump for tattoo? Like people, like once I go past this, my wrists, it's like,
I think
here we go.
Sort of. You've definitely committed at a different level once you go past the wrist. Yeah. But I never even thought about it that way. Once you go past the elbow, at least.
But you could still wear a suit.
You could wear a suit and cover it. Yeah, that's almost as sick as it might sound. That's why I always wanted to get my hands and knuckles done. Because when I was working at the restaurant and working at the club, I always wore a full suit and tie and everything. So I looked like a very well put together, untattooed young man. And I was like, fuck that. I need to do these hands and knuckles so everyone can know what time it is, even when I'm in my suit and tie. Anyway, I got sidetracked. But now I'm super stoked. I've been a tattoo artist for the last year, tattooing basically every single day for the last year out of a private studio. And in the next year or two, I've got every intention of opening, my own shop and having a few other artists working with me there. Hopefully in the downtown West Palm Beach area. I don't even want to say hopefully. I know it's going to happen. The next year or two, catch me downtown West Palm Beach. I'll have my own shop.
So not to throw you like a quick ad here, but Pete, for those people who are, so Pete's a tattoo artist and he's way too fucking humble. His work is amazing, and the trajectory he's going at for the short time, not the short time, but the time he's been in the industry compared to other guys doing as amazing work as you is incredible.
Thank you, man.
So Pete, for people who are like, they know they want to get a tattoo, but there's someone who they don't feel comfortable enough with, or they're looking to kind of go down that path. I know tons of people who are looking for someone because I have tattoos, and half of the whole thing about tattoos, this is fucking permanent. You want to sit down with someone you're comfortable with and someone that isn't just doing a shit job or just going to take advantage of you price wise,
trying to get you in and out
exactly.
the door.
So Pete, where could they find you, and what's that process like?
Sure. Probably the easiest way right now to get in contact with me is through Instagram. It's also where most of my portfolio is able to be viewed. So on Instagram, _Picasso, PETECASSO _
It's like Picasso, but with a P.
Right.
And I say that because it took me like 8 months to figure out what the fuck Pete Picasso was.
Yeah.
And then it hit me one day, and I'm like, I am the biggest idiot in the fucking world.
And I owe all of that to Selecta Steve. I got to say it right now. He was one of my first clients. And
Selecta Steve.
Selecta Steve.
Is he a DJ? Is that a rap
DJ
name?
downtown. He's moving up to New York soon to do his thing up there, but he's been a great friend of mine for the last few years.
That name drives too. Selecta Steve.
He's a groovy dude, bro. I'm telling you.
Groovy, great adjective to give someone.
Man.
Okay.
He came through the door one day and I was just like, Picasso! Yeah. And I was like, oh fuck, bro, that's genius. I'm using that.
It is a groovy move.
And I ran with it ever since.
Well, that's great. So Picasso. Spell one more time.
PETECASSO. You can also go to petecasso.com. My portfolio is on there, and the link to get to my Instagram is there also.
Fire shout out.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, man, I'm pumped, and I know Pete's success. Now, in the next few years, you talked about opening up a shop, and having your own business.
I'd love to have I've got a lot of friends that are artists as well. You know, not tattoo artists, but you know, going to art school when I was younger. You know, I made a lot of friends with artists. I know other people just in the restaurant world that are super talented artists, and I'd love to be able to put other people on the same way that I was put 100%. On this last year. You know, this like changed my life in a huge way. Yeah. And it's exciting to me to be able to, you know, have my own platform, like my own, you know, shop and a big space to work out of where I can teach other people and kind of let them go down that same career path if that's what they want.
100%.
So that's an exciting thought too, you know.
Enough about work, Pete. Give me the juice. What's going on in your like personal and social life, you know, and where do you see that heading? Are you trying to settle down? Are you going out? Are you single, taking? What's going on with that?
In a super happy relationship, best relationship like I could ever even describe, honestly, you know. Jojo, we've been together for a little over a year now, and that's just been amazing, man. You know, I've
learned a lot.
I've learned a lot. I mean, I've learned a lot about myself and about, you know, how to treat someone else, and I don't know, it's just been great, really. She gasses me up, bro. She's the best support I could ever ask for. I don't know that I'd be, you know, as successful as I am doing everything I'm doing right now if she wasn't by my side, man. She's really been an amazing support system.
That's great.
And I mean, I hope she could say the same about me. I try to be there for her as much as I can, baby. But yeah, I mean, super happy.
You want to buy a house, settle down, 6 kids.
Yeah, so right now we live together. We're renting. And in the next year, we'd like to relocate, buy something. And JoJo is also a super amazing artist. So she's, you know, honing in on those skills again, practicing her drawing every day. And she's going to be learning how to tattoo here and, you know, starting to take clients soon. And that's something she's super excited about as well. I'm super excited for her. So, yeah, I mean, we've just been doing that, man. She's, you know, we've both been making clothes, launching a brand for her as well, doing custom jeans, custom jean jackets. So it's just been, it's just fun to have someone like that in my life where we both like thrive off the same sort of creativity and like we both enjoy the same things. You know, I was just telling you earlier too, we're homebodies, you know, we really don't go out much, which is amazing. I got that kind of all out of my system working in the restaurant world for as long as I did. And, yeah, it's just really nice to have someone that I can stay home all day, every day with and never get tired of it, you know?
Yeah, no, shout out JoJo.
Shout out JoJo, you're the best.
Well, that's fucking great, Pete. No, I'm super fucking, you know, I'm pumped for you and your future. And, you know, you meet these people in your life that you know are just going to be successful in anything that you do. And I know that's you and you're one of them. So
it's an amazing thing to say.
So I guess in flip.
Yeah, it's your turn, bro.
You know, I'll kind of jump over the same points. And so for me, I would say my biggest life-changing event was my senior year of high school. I decided to, you know, I'm going to talk a lot about like my insecurities, mostly being with my physical. I'm sure Pete's going to have a lot of insight into his path with the law and the problems he's had with that. But for me, I want to be outspoken about the problems I've had with my weight because I feel like a lot of men don't do that. A lot of men don't talk about their insecurities in their physical, you know, appearance and whatnot. And B, I feel like a lot of people our age just don't talk about it either. How we all kind of have, you know, with the modernization of social media, a lot of self doubt and not, you know, we're lacking a lot of self-love. So I'm going to talk about that a lot. But to get to that point, my entire life I was obese and overweight, and I will fight that till the day I die. I'm just an Italian meatball. I'm 5'7" and a quarter on a good day. And yeah, better believe that fucking quarter's in there. And you know, I don't have much of a metabolism at all. And you know, I fucking love food. So the combination of those three wasn't, you know, in my favor growing up. And my mom is an amazing cook, and I was fed well. And so my entire life I always fought with that. And with that, there wasn't many girls.
My mom was an amazing cook, and I was fed well.
Ma is just the bee's knees. So my entire life I struggled with that. You know, I had my first girlfriend in my senior year of high school, and that was my first kiss. And it was like I wasn't keeping up to par with a lot of kids my age on the football team and all this stuff. And like I said, I didn't really talk to girls. I had my little group of friends and I stayed within that and all those guys I loved, but I didn't have that belief in myself. So once I got done with football, my senior year of high school, I kind of looked in the mirror and I decided, okay, now's the point to put, the foot in the sand and make a pivot. And I did that. And, at the time I was weighing about 240 pounds and I got down to about 175 within about 6 months. And doing that, it was the biggest life-changing event because A, physically I changed, but B, mentally I saw that I was capable of doing anything I really wanted. And it's really cliche. And a lot of people say like, oh, if you put your mind to something, you could do it. But not many people ever in their life really put their mind to something that's so crazy and not even fathom, like you can't even get your head around to, and then they accomplished that. And I was really proud of myself because that was the first time in my life that I was like, okay, I could be more, I could have a goal and accomplish that, and I could really do anything. So, along with that changed the trajectory of my life. I went up to Orlando and with this newfound confidence, and it was fun going out and talking to girls and just being a different self socially.
Was there a certain event that happened that made you flip the switch and lose the weight? Like, was it something that...
When you're... This isn't a roast. Have you ever been big ever in your life? Which... It's not like something I hold against anyone. You're blessed. You're blessed. But if you've ever had problems with weight, you just feel like you can't get comfortable. And every angle and everywhere you walk and everywhere you go, you're always having to like pull your shirt out or adjust things or when someone takes a picture, you zoom in on your face and you just don't look comfortable. You know what I'm talking about if you've ever dealt with it. And it's a really hard thing to get around because you're never truly comfortable. You get anxiety about going out because when you go out, there's not going to be a lot of people that talk to you because so much stuff is based off of, first reaction and physical appearance. And unfortunately, when people are overweight and they don't have the confidence in themselves, how are other people going to have confidence in you and attract to that? So, for me, there was, a turning point my senior year of high school. I was like, dude, I need to get over this because if I don't do it now, I don't know if I ever will. But B, like, I know that I have a lot to offer to a person, a girl, but B, like, more to this world. Yeah. And what people don't understand is when you change physically like that, yeah, you change so much physically, but you change so much mentally.
Yeah, right.
Because your self-love, your self-discipline, your, insecurities, everything comes along with that. It's like a bundle. And it sounds so cliche, but people think they change more on the outside. They change tenfold on the inside. And it was really cool to be able to see that because what you do when you go to a party and you say no to, shitty food, or when you go to the gym every day and you build up that mental fortitude, you take that and you put it to every part of your life. So every part of your life is different and changed. And it's really cool. And when that happened, that shift happened, it was the first time in my life that I just truly, truly believed in everything. So it was really good. And I'm going to talk about that a lot on this podcast. Like I said, I feel like, it's part of me opening up and being vulnerable, but it's something that's never really talked about. And like for those guys out there who struggle with these issues that I know a lot of people low key do, A, reach out to me, but B, talk about it. Talk to people because we're all kind of in the same boat. We think we're so different from one another, but we're not. And we all have these struggles. So that was definitely my biggest life-changing event and pivot in my life.
And what was the time frame like when you started that journey and to the point where you're like, holy shit, look what I did?
November 26, 2012 was when my first day of my life change and my diet. And then June was basically the end of that, and not the end of it, but when I really stopped losing weight and I started maintaining, and I got to that comfortable spot. So, so guys, the second point we were going to talk about was our biggest insecurities to kind of, I don't know, to leapfrog from exactly where I was heading with my biggest life changing event. I would say that my biggest insecurity is definitely my self image, and it's something that I will fight my entire life. It's something that I have fought my entire life. And it's something that at points have crippled me. At points, it's extremely stressful and brings anxiety to a certain extent. And I keep it, I'm viewed as a pretty social guy. So like I keep it pretty covered up. I mean, people who are extremely close to me, they understand. But it's something that is really hard when, you know, you don't want to get excited to go out and do anything if you don't feel comfortable. And when you fight with that self-image and being overweight or whatever your problem is. So for some people, it's acne, or for some people, it's being too thin and frail. And I'm not saying it's all weight. There's so many different elements to body image that can affect people. And what I'm saying is all the problems are heard. Like no one person's problem is bigger than the other. So when we all deal with these insecurities and these issues, I feel you. Like I get where you're coming from, and you're not alone with that. We all have things that, even though on social media and even though to the world we could show up with a huge smile on their face, we're dealing with issues below the skin, and it's just about showing up and continuously working at those problems and talking about it and being open about it, because that is A, the way to fix the problem is when you're truthful with yourself, but B, the more you talk about it, the more people can understand and help as well.
Yeah.
So to piggyback on that would be, you know, my biggest life-changing thing, and then my biggest
sorry to backtrack for a second,
No.
but I think you made a good point earlier when you were saying, you know, like the life that we see on everyone's social media is really just the surface level, you know? And although everything may look perfect on someone's Instagram page because that's what they chose to show you, everyone's got their own shit that they're dealing with behind the scenes.
It's a highlight reel,
exactly.
When have you ever posted a picture that you did not look what you thought was amazing or funny, or, you know, even when, you know, us guys, like, I don't really edit pictures. I'll scan through different colors, I guess, but like,
they call those filters.
Yeah, I guess that's right. It's what them kids call them these days. But like, just to see what looks best. And that's, I guess, a declaration to like say, everyone that's putting out shit, they're just trying to put out their best, which no shade to that, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
It puts stress on people because they feel like they're not living up to this expectation.
This perfect life, right?
That's not really attainable. It's not like that, you know? Exactly. You're getting, you know, when a girl posts a selfie or a guy posts a selfie or a picture, you're getting one of 62 pictures that they took, and they took the best one, and then they took that best one and they edited it for 20 minutes. And after they edited their 20 minutes, they texted 3 of their friends and said, hey, is this my best angle? And then they posted. The whole thing took about 2.5 hours, right? And you're seeing it and saying, wow, that person's hot. But in reality, it's just this kind of made up figure, you know? And a lot of times those people are extremely insecure in themselves as well. So what I'm saying is,
everyone's got their own shit.
Everyone's got their own shit. Talk about it and realize it and attack it, but don't feel like you're struggling or you're fighting with an issue that isn't a huge problem for everyone, even though it's perceived not.
Right.
So that was, you know, most definitely my biggest insecurity. And I guess, you know, to my last point, like, what's my mission, my goal, my why, and my goal in life now is, you know, I recently got engaged, so
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, man. Paige is amazing. Yeah, she you know, my entire life I was basically single. I had 3 short relationships in college, each for about 2 months each. And they were great girls. They just weren't right for me at the time. And you know, we all ended things fairly well, and I hope the best for them. And when I got back down to South Florida in 2018, I was single for a year and a half, and I was really getting to that point where, you know, I was going to the gym a lot. I was really trying to look good. I was trying to go out in the scene and meet people, and I just kind of kept striking out. Like, through work, I'm in construction, which is 99.99% male. I'm not going to meet anyone through work. When I go out to a bar and get drunk, typically I'm the drunkest, so that's not the best. and then lastly, like, I guess I can meet people off of dating apps, or Instagram DMs, but like, I feel like that's too much of a stretch. So it was really hard. And something we're going to talk about a lot on this show is like the dating scene in the mid-20s, because it's a fucking Tetris game. It's very hard. It's weird, bro. It is, man.
That's why I'm so grateful that I'm in the relationship I'm in, because it's weird nowadays.
It was really hard. So before I met Paige in May of 2019, I was really putting myself out there. I went on 3 or 4 first dates, and they were amazing girls. But like,
and how'd you find those dates?
So two were through Instagram DMs.
Slide.
Yeah, I bet. And then one was through a mutual friend, and then the last one was actually the wedding planner. at venue wedding, day of wedding planner for my sister's wedding that I met there. She saw that I was the drunkest guy on the dance floor, confident,
coolest
dancing,
guy at the party,
coolest guy at the party.
Right.
And for some reason, she was into me.
She's
sweating.
like, damn, he's sweaty.
Dude, I was 6 buttons deep, and if you know the button rule, you're gonna know the button rule real soon. Every button that goes down is another notch on my fucking fucked up level. Sick. So like 1 button's like, yo, I'm feeling a little tips. 2's like, I'm getting there. 3's like, okay, this guy's kind of drunk.
Once the belly button's out.
Dude, if it gets down in that range, 4, 5, 6 buttons, you're fucked. You know, it's 7, you're dead. So anyway, she saw me in that state, and she really liked the way I was around my family because family is everything. And so we went on a date. Unfortunately, it wasn't, clicking, but she was a great girl as well. So those are like the dates I went on because I'm a date guy. Like, I'm not gonna Netflix and chill with you. I want to go bring you out and see what you're like. And then
it's a date guy.
And then one of my buddies came home one day. He was like, yo, bro, I got this new app called Hinge. You got to download it. And I was like, dude, I don't do apps. I've literally had Tinder and Bumble like all throughout college and after. And I said, sometimes when I'm on a late night and just need some confidence, I'll swipe until I get a match. But besides that, like I never meet up with these girls. It's always a dead end.
Right.
And like it just doesn't work for me. He's like, dude, you got to try. The hottest girls are on there. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I downloaded that night. And the next day, Paige and I matched and we started talking. And it was a little rocky at first talking because neither one of us are good at like messaging. So like we communicate like every other day.
Yeah.
But after that,
which I feel like is classic for those kind of apps.
Classic,
right?
Dude. It's just very slow rolling, which I guess was probably good for me because I'm not like that in nature. Right. And we went to a brunch a few weeks later, which was so cool down in downtown Fort Lauderdale. And kind of the rest is history. We were together for a year, and then once COVID happened, we moved in with one another. And she compliments me in all the best ways. I'm insane. She's down to earth. She brings me down. I'm a huge spender. I just like fucking spending money. And she's like, Nick, chill. We have to like save up. So she compliments me in the best ways. And she just is the best fiance and partner because I feel like the best partners in life, they complement one another and they bring each other up. And she supports me in all my crazy avenues that I go down. Yeah. And babe, I appreciate the hell out of you for that. You're great.
Shout out to Hinge, not a sponsor.
Bet. Yeah. You'll get there one day. With that, dude, the next 5 years, I want to continue to build my business. I'm getting my general contracting license. I want to continue that. This has been a really cool passion project to jump on, and it's really cool. I'm really excited to get our voice out there. And I
can't believe I didn't say that in my 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to the podcast because this shit's gonna grow over the next 5 years. I'm very excited,
and I'm excited to get our voice out there and to have you guys on too. A lot of people that are doing good in life and they want to talk about their story because all stories need to be heard.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. I want to have 5 kids. All Italian names: Luciano, Luigi, Lorenzo, and Leonardo.
Are you serious?
Oh, 1,000%. Now, is any of this going to happen? No chance. None of it's going to happen. And everyone's like, what's the last kid's name going to be? Alfredo? I don't know. It might be, bitch.
Cannelloni.
Who the fuck knows? No, I like to act way more Italian than I am because I just love the culture. And none of those names are probably going to happen because my fiance is just not having it, but I will try. No, I want to have an awesome family. I want to continue to see my sisters have kids and my parents be happy and just everyone around me continue to grow because family and friends are everything to me. I just love seeing people do well. And so that's kind of my next 5 years is continue to try to find that right balance in life between work and play and being happy and struggling and everything,
balance. We keep saying it all day. I feel like we've said it like 5 times.
It's the biggest thing. It's balance. Really just finding that balance. And, sometimes the most wealthiest people in the world are the most unhappy. And sometimes people who, only focus on their happiness, don't have enough money to pay the bills. So it's about finding that right balance. Okay. So we have 2 more segments, and the second to last segment we're gonna jump on in every episode we do like this. We're going to shout out a small business, and it's not sponsored or anything like that. As we said, we're practicing what we're preaching. Yeah. We just love supporting people who are A, starting out, or B, young business owners and millennials and just grinding and doing their thing. And if we could support and help that in any way, then fuck yeah, we're gonna do it.
Love supporting the hustle.
That's it. So for me, it's the Core Method, and the Core Method is a nutrition company. And they're based in the Midwest, but they do almost all their work, virtually and through online stuff like that. And it's a personal friend of mine, McKay, who started the business a little over a year ago, and they are amazing. And they break things down through macronutrients and what you need, whether that's weight gain and muscle gain, or weight loss and losing weight, or maintaining just a lifestyle. And they're normal people with real world solutions. They understand that we go out on the weekends and we party and we have birthdays and events, and that, you're not going to go to a party with broccoli and rice and chicken, and that you're going to have real macros and alcohol. And they bring all that in together, and they integrate that into your life, and they give you that within timelines and what to expect, and overall just the best people. And so I'll have their link in description in our bio. And if you're anyone who wants to either, physically their mental support is amazing as well, but physically change, please reach out to them. That's the Core Method in McKay and her team. And I love them. Shout out to you guys. We love you guys.
Well done, dude.
Nice, man.
Very nice. Okay. So mine is also going to be food related,
yeah.
But I'm not nearly as prepared as you are. Gabby Caniglio, shout out to you. You sent me a little 30-second ad for my phone to read off, so I'm going to do my best Lewis Howes right now, and I'm just going to read the ad that she sent me. So I was going to try and freestyle it, but I figure it's probably best to use Gabby's words.
Absolutely.
Please stand by. Okay, so Gabby Caniglio. She is a longtime friend of mine, first of all, but has launched her own business called Overboard Palm Beach. And here we go. Overboard Palm Beach was designed with over-the-top hosts in mind who love to entertain but hate the cooking hassle. Our customizable meal boards are like charcuterie boards on steroids. Charcuterie boards on steroids.
Charcuterie.
Oh, yeah? I fucked that one up?
No, I don't say it right either. Charcuterie boards?
Meat platters.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gabby. Fuck. So Gabby's got a huge background as a private chef. And for elite clientele, we've been able to provide the quality of the private chef meals for everybody. Whether it's a special occasion, family taco night, we mobilize the idea of private chefs in the Palm Beach County community.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're throwing a baby shower, a wedding shower, a party,
whatever,
anything like that, she shows up and brings the food.
Yeah, styles you out.
And it's fire food.
Yeah, fire food. Yeah. Super impressive. We'll put her link to the Instagram in the description so you can check out her page. Super stoked on what she's got going on. It's just it's dope to see your friends who have talents taking it to the next level, and
it's a really amazing avenue to go down to. Gabby, I don't know you, but
yeah,
all the power to you. I think that's genius.
Right.
And when you keep growing, we'd love to have you out for our next party because that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Wish you all the
best.
best.
Get you on the cast one day.
Yeah. So our last segment, guys, is a 2 question. So with that, Pete and I will be taking 2 puffs of our local medically Mary J. And I don't smoke too much. So it's going to be funny because I'm going to ask Pete 2 questions. Fuck it, shut off.
All right. Well, as you can tell, we just did our 2 puffs because we came back with snacks.
Okay, so my fiance self-admittedly has a little bit of an Amazon problem.
Me too.
And Pete just walked into her opening up a box of
20?
20 Sour Patch Kids packs.
It's like the family size packs, dude. They're big bags.
They're not like a small, Publix, checkout line pack. No, they're like the fucking jumbo pack.
Costco.
Exactly.
You got 20 of them bitches.
So we both grabbed one. Maybe it's been like 2 years since I had a Sour Patch Kid. Wow, sour.
Yeah, extreme.
Yeah, she got the fucking extremes too. Because the normal ones aren't good enough.
Yeah, those don't cut it.
Okay, so Pete, first question.
Okay.
Really not question scenario.
Oh, jeez.
Is there anything more stressful in the world than when you're in a public restroom taking a shit and someone pulls a stall door?
Okay, I like that. I've got 2 parts to this question.
Yeah.
There are 2 answers. No, you're right. That is extremely stressful, and I fear situations like that. So the second part to that answer is I don't poop in public restrooms.
Wow.
I don't do it.
No way. Okay, so I know some people like this. I know these
I've
people.
heard of your condition.
Because I had another stack on top of the question, which is very funny. But How do you? That's such a flex, though, bro. Because you got to poop. That's a flex, bro. Because you guys go out to eat. You be at a nice dinner, or sometimes like gas station. You got to pull over and just like drop a poo.
I can guarantee I've definitely never pooped at a gas station.
No
without
way,
a doubt in my
Pete.
mind. Yeah.
See, I'm a pretty like normal public pooper. Like if I have to poo, I gotta poo. Like it doesn't wait. Because like my last part of that question is, okay, so if you were to poo, like you had to go, right?
Yeah.
How are you cleaning the toilet? Are you a put the
toilet paper?
Yeah, toilet paper down and sit on top, or do you wipe and wipe?
If I were to do this, which I have before, I'm not gonna pretend like I've literally never pooped in a public. I'm not gonna pretend. I've done this before, but at all costs, I don't poop in a public restroom, right? I will take some toilet paper.
Okay.
If it's one of those big boy stalls that has a sink in it also, I'll dampen the toilet paper a little bit.
Okay, that's another question.
Turn it into a wet wipe.
You holy shit. Okay, but you jump in the handicap if it's open. That's a stressful.
If the handicap's an option. Oh, but I see your point. You know, if someone's in there and they happen to be handicapped,
that is the ultimate. You're fucked. If you're in a handicap stall,
I'm sliding on the
someone in a wheelchair
under the wall to the next stall.
You are toast, dude. Oh my god, you're done.
So anyway, I will wipe the toilet seat with a wet toilet paper. Yeah.
And then go on top with
probably redry it. You know.
Okay, I was about to say you're not gonna sit on a moist toilet.
Wax on, wax off. You know.
And then
assume the position.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hover. You know that seems a little. Yeah, you're not gonna. And
the reason I asked because I was taking a gas station deuce the other day. It was just a before worker, and we all got those before workers.
Yeah.
And so I had to go to a gas station, and a little bit of a sketcher one. I'm not going to name the gas station. We all know like the nice, gas stations.
Yeah.
Okay, so not so nice. And
Let me ask you this: Did you need to get a key to go to the bathroom?
No.
It wasn't that bad then.
No, because that's even.
You know when you get the stick with the key, and you're just like, what the fuck?
And they did that because there was someone ripping lines of coke in the bathroom. Okay, so, but it was a normal lock. And someone comes up and does a hard pull. And like I am just right in the middle, and they do like the jiggle, like where they jiggle the fucking handle and pull, and I'm like, oh.
As if you don't know what it means when the door to the bathroom's locked.
Like whenever I check,
this thing must be broken.
Yeah, dude. So I am stressing, sweating, and it ruined the whole experience for me.
Sweating. You weren't sweating already?
No, it was intense. And I literally got out of there and I said that was probably the most stressful 15 seconds of the last 6 months. So that's something I thought of this week was like, wait, how do people clean their bathrooms? And when people fucking pull on bathrooms doors, how stressful is that?
Right. Can I elaborate on this question a tiny bit more?
Okay, jump on, Pete.
Are you a wet wipe guy at the house, or you use dry toilet paper?
Pete, that is such a good fucking question. Okay, and here's how I'm going to answer it.
Yes.
Listen, I know a lot of people in my personal life who are wet wipers. They jumped on the trend. They're wet wipers.
It's a trend.
Growing up, I was never a wet wiper in our household. We never had that opportunity. And later in life, my sisters became wet wipers. My brother-in-laws, they're all wet wipers, right? So if I go over to a house and I wet wipe,
you made it sound like they caught COVID.
Right?
They became wet wipers,
And I see wet wipes.
Everybody, hide your kids, hide your wife.
I got wet wipes, motherfucker. And if I see wet wipes over their house, like I'll dabble. I'll be like, okay, bet, what's this? What's going on here?
So you like to indulge.
And at this point in my life, though, I haven't used it enough where I don't like how my butt cheeks are like wet internally as I get up and leave. I like dry station.
What if you ended it with a dry wipe?
So is that a thing people do? They go wet wipe.
I mean, personally, I don't. I've gotten used to the climate, but
so you're a wet wiper.
I'm a wet wiper. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, full blown.
Like the dude wipes, where the fuck they are?
Yeah, I bought dude wipes and they are nice, but they're just regular wipes that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Smartly marketed.
And for you, it's just one wet wipe?
No. I mean, when you're having a good one, who knows? But like, Yeah, you know.
See, they stress,
I will tell you this,
out
actually. I double layer every time. Every time.
You use two wipes
for one wipe. Yeah, just because it's almost...
Pete, that's a lot.
I know, dude, but if you hold the wipe up, it's almost transparent. Like, you can see your hand
Your
through
aim
it.
isn't that good after 26 years,
No,
Pete?
it's not that I'm missing the target, but I'm just saying it looks too thin that I'm not confident nothing transferred through it,
okay,
you know? So
okay.
I double layer
Double
just to make
pack it.
sure there's nothing... And not like I'm not washing my hands after, but still, you don't... For that same reason, you don't wipe your ass with your hand, you know?
Okay.
So I just, for extra protection, I double layer it, you know?
Okay. You know, Pete, I learned a lot about you right here. All good.
Did we just become best friends?
I think so. And the wet wipes is something that I might bring
I've
to
noticed
my
you
life
don't
in the
have
future.
any in the guest bathroom. If production could get us a pack of wet wipes for the
Listen,
next...
I'm not an anti-wiper. I just haven't jumped enough on the train, and whenever
Like an anti-vaxxer.
I'm not used to it enough where I like two white asshole cheeks right next to each other wet. I just don't like it.
Here's
Okay.
my thing, bro. I just feel like with the dry wipe, it's the same reason, like, if you were going to clean up a mess on your countertop.
It's different, Pete.
Why?
It's different.
Why is it different?
It's just
if you spill
different.
peanut butter on the countertop, right?
It's not peanut butter.
You're not going
I
to
guess
take...
it's
It's
okay.
close.
Okay.
You're not going to take a dry paper towel and just smear it across the countertop. You're going to dampen that bitch, and you're going to clean it, you know?
Pete, I
Like-
want to say you're wrong, but you're so right. I
Thank
can't.
you.
I absolutely say
Thank
you're
you.
right.
Okay. We can move on then. As long-
We can agree to disagree. I'm happy we're such different opinions on the wipes versus not wipes.
Yeah.
But Pete doesn't shit when he goes out in public anyway. This fucking asshole. Oh, me? No, I've never used a salt before in my life. I don't do that. Meanwhile, I'm shitting in 7-Elevens every other morning. Like, next time I'm going to be like, oh, well, Pete wouldn't do this, so I guess I'm not shitting.
What would Picasso do before worker?
I mean, I'm going to be spitting on that towel next time. I just spitting on the fucking tissue paper. Homemade fucking wet wipes, dude. Talking about Pete would do this. Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Because you can't dry a peanut butter with a wet wipe. Fucking asshole.
It's not like well, it is kind of like
Yeah,
peanut
yeah,
butter. All right, what
Okay,
was next?
Wow.
that was a good one,
that was
dude.
amazing.
That was a good first question.
Okay, second. Do you get anxiety when you walk into Walmart?
No.
Okay, because I fucking do.
Quick answer, no. But I will tell you this, and you learned this about me earlier today. And we'll tell you a story while we're at it. So me and Nick had to go to make a little trip to buy another micro SD card because for some reason the one we had before wasn't working.
Technology sucks.
Technology, man. It's a weird thing. But anyway, we go to like 3 different places to try and find the card we need. And every time we walk into the store, my immediate reaction when we walk through the doors is you look up, like if you're at, Best Buy or Office Depot, whatever, you look up and they've got the signs there saying like computers, cameras, stereos, whatever. And I'm just trying to identify where do we go to get the shit we need. Obviously, there isn't one that says micro SD card, which would be what we need, but I'm just trying to identify where we go. Nick, being, a lot more logical than I am, walks directly up to the first employee, says, hey, where can we find this thing? He brought it with us, which is also very smart. He brought the SD card that, looked like the one we needed. So, no, Walmart doesn't give me anxiety, but I'm also the type that's going to walk up and...
You absolutely see why I do, because, listen, hear me out. I am 25 3/4 years old. I've never walked into Walmart one time in my fucking life and asked anyone where anything is.
Yeah.
And those motherfuckers know a thing about anything.
Yeah.
Typically, honestly, they don't speak English. No offense to that. But, like, how are you going to hire someone who just doesn't rip English? That's tough.
Yeah.
B, they don't know, like, they literally look like they got hired yesterday, and today was their first day because they don't know anything. But I walked in yesterday to grab some things, and literally from the moment I walk in, I'm like, I gotta get out of this fucking place as fast as possible because I'm stressed the fuck out, and I've had it for today. I gotta get in my car, go the fuck home. I can't do people no more.
Yeah, I'm almost the opposite. I will walk up and down every aisle. And
it's fun for you?
And just
Like,
look at shit, yeah.
You're a casual guy.
Yeah.
See, I'm in the store as fast as I fucking can. I'm out of the store.
I like to browse, but I also don't want anyone helping me. You know, I really resent when like I go in a store and the people come up and they're like, "Oh, do you need help finding anything?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just looking." I know that they have to say it. I don't hold it against them for saying it, but you know my answer. Like everyone gives you the same answer.
Just let me chill.
You could just we could have made eye contact and you would have known. Like it's all good. I worked at Champs, bro. I was one of those guys. You know.
You go to the mall anymore? When's the last time you've been in the mall?
Long time, dude. I'm like your girl. I've got an Amazon addiction. I don't leave the house much.
Dude, I was thinking about that.
I don't even go to the grocery store, Nick. We get our groceries delivered.
You one of those, Pete, bro?
Instacart.
Bet. Every time?
I'm an annual subscriber.
No fucking way, Pete.
I didn't believe it. I haven't been in a Publix since Nam.
So you literally just order that shit?
Yeah. Right from bed most of the time.
See, that's a
problem. I also don't do Publix.
You don't do Publix?
I don't do Publix.
What do you do, Pete?
Aldi.
Oh,
you know
my
about
God.
Aldi?
Do I know about Aldi? Aldi, I fucking hate, Pete. It's the worst. I walk in there. First off, they make you pay fucking 25 cents for a cart.
Well, that's if you go and you didn't order the groceries from your bed, boy. What? You fucked up. First of all, you went there. I've never been inside an Aldi.
They make you pay for a fucking cart, Pete.
I've never been to Aldi.
You what?
I've never been to Aldi. I've been getting my groceries from Aldi for a year.
Then you wouldn't order them anymore, Pete, if you went to Aldi. Maybe actually I'm wrong. Maybe I know there's some people.
You would order groceries from Aldi if you didn't go there. You would enjoy Aldi had you not stepped foot inside it.
I'm pretty sure Aldi's also the place that makes you pay for the fucking bags to put the food in when you leave.
They're thinking about the environment, not their pocket.
No, bro, that's fucked up. I bought all the food here. Just put them in a fucking bag. I think
every grocery store in California is like that.
That is insane, dude.
Something like that. I mean, I just made an insane statement. That may totally not be true. I know like Ralph's is like that, which is their Publix.
They have a Ralph's? Isn't it crazy when you go places how they have different Publixes?
We just went to Kansas City, me and JoJo and our family, and not Publix.
Kroger's?
Maybe, yeah. Might have been Kroger's. Yeah. Dude, in the town we were in, bro, it was fucking Walmart, and that was about it.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah. Produce at Walmart?
No chance. Ain't happening.
You would have had a lot of anxiety living in this town.
Oh, my God.
You would have Instacart.
Pete,
if you had to grocery shop at Walmart, you'd do Instacart.
We learned so much about each other today, and so, guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. Pete, I am over the fucking moon about it. I think it's gonna be really great. And
stoked.
And to everyone that came out and listened and watched, we appreciate you guys so much. If after this is done, you could like, subscribe, comment, give us any type of opinion about what you thought was good and bad, and what
do you want to hear?
Yeah, what do you want to hear? Because we're here ultimately for you guys. And everyone who's listening's experience, you know. So, with that being said, we're going to be coming out with one episode every week, and then on the weekends, we're going to kind of do a 5-minute Friday segment, where we're going to kind of pump out 5 minutes of either the best part of an episode or kind of some inspirational shit if we say it.
Yeah.
To kind of go into the weekend too, you know. So
hopefully we say something worth quoting.
That's it. That is ultimately the goal. And for any people locally here in Jupiter, but if you're from out of town and you want to, show face, guys, every other week we're gonna bring a guest on and talk about their lives, and everything that comes along with making them, who they are today. Yeah. So if that's something you'd ever consider doing to build your personal brand or whatever it is, and talk about
a story you want to tell,
exactly, and everything in between. Please reach out. We'd love to have you guys on. And every other week, like I said, we're going to be doing guests. So there'll be more than enough opportunity in the future if you want to jump on. So, guys, thanks again for watching. And we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Peace.
Good shit, bro.